Hello, hello, Imaginary Villain here. It's once again time to get down to some game dev. Today I actually have a new microphone to test out. It's much spicier and much more, I guess, colorful. It's got lights, I don't know. A lot of streamers said it was pretty good, and, well, I was borrowing the other microphone anyway, so, you know, kind of had to return that, so it was kind of necessary that I end up actually buying one at some point here. Better than the initial one I started with. If anyone actually saw the first few streams, well, yeah, it was not the best. And that's being generous, but it was also, I think, like a $30 mic, so it was most definitely not very spicy. So, let's see, where are we at today? I finished off with the, trying to get the areas to, not the areas, but the blocks in the newest area to kind of match. I'll have the right hitboxes. I don't think I even tested it. I just ran the, I just set them all and then realized it was 8:30 a.m. that I had to be up in 5 hours. So, you know, I did what I could. So let's do a quick test and see how that even looks. I think the next stream upgrade I plan on getting is an actual arm for the microphone, so you don't hear keyboard noises as much. Unfortunately, well, I don't have that much extra money just sitting around. I was going to buy one that wasn't, you know, a cheap, crappy one that keeps falling or something. Half the ones I read, it's just like, oh, look, this one falls over. I don't think I want to pay for that. What else we got? This one's 3 times as much, but doesn't. Oh, well, it's terrible. Not approved. No. I need to set up things so the quest people don't appear next to that. So make quest characters not appear near the exit. They might have a more set location, honestly, because as it is right now, it's just not very good. Oh, actually, what was I doing here? I was gonna do this, so that one's actually not too bad. It's getting there. It's actually relatively close. Oops, I can destroy this. Actually, that looks like it works. It could be a little less wide, I guess. I'll make a note of that. Sure. Well, yeah. Set up a backup before I mess with anything. Always keep a backup every single day. It's not like RPGMaker stuff is that big in the first place. So this one here is attic block 6. So we're gonna shrink the X by we'll just do it by 10. It looks like it's really close. Am I interested in moving this down at all? Let's go ahead and remove that from in there and let's start walking around it. Let's heal myself up so I don't die immediately. Oh, it's gotta go up some, definitely. So you can walk into it, I mean down some. Okay, so that means that on there, do this real fast. Move down by, well, she's 45 across, so we'll say down by 20. And there's this. Am I okay with the gargoyle as it is? Not really. I removed the asterisks on the ones that were already done. That's unfortunate. Now I need to figure out which ones are which again. Let's see. This one here, the gargoyle is 8, and it's got to be. I think it's just got to be shrink and move over to the left. So probably shrink the whole thing by both sides by 20. Shrink both by. Actually, both by maybe 30. It's really the base of the gargoyle is really not that big. You want to be able to walk behind it so the wings are, you know, like it kind of obscures the player and everything, so it looks kind of cool, makes it more 3D feeling. And then move left by 20 and then down by 10. That should get it somewhat close. Of course, whenever you shrink the size of it, it also kind of moves it around a bit, so... I think I decided the trees were fine. Let's do a quick double check there. I mean, again, just kind of heal up. I usually like to walk around them with the thing on to get a better idea. Honestly, I think the tree could be moved over a slight bit because it looks like she can get pretty far into it. Well, even that's not too bad. I think it just needs to be maybe you shrunk a bit and move to the right. So that tree needs to be, it's H1. So like shrink X by 20, move right by 10. The pumpkin house is a catastrophe. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that thing. I think I'm gonna move it up. So this is 2. Move up by, I guess, 30. We'll try that. It's such an odd shape. I really should have made them circles. That was a mistake. This is not an engine where you should be doing crazy things. I could do polygons for them, but I don't want to spend that long setting it all up. Especially when I don't think people are going to sit there and hug it, so... I think I settled on this one being fine, H3 being fine. I'm going to walk around it without the thing on. I think I'm fine with H3. I just want them all reasonable. Like, people don't usually walk around and hug everything, so it shouldn't be a problem, but in case they want to sit there and hug it, the least I can do is make it work a little better. Oh, this one's just a catastrophe. Oh, hi, Moss One. I don't know if you're late. I've only been going for about 9 minutes or something, so it's not too bad. Just trying to fix the collisions on these so that they're... This area that's not finished is at least, they're not hitting invisible stuff the whole time. This one is number 7. Yeah, it's gonna be number 7 to the left by like 40 and then down by at least 30. Yeah, I'm theming some areas based on various, crap you'd find in an attic. And the, one of the areas is going to be Halloween decorations. So I made a bunch of random decorations for it, but I haven't made all of them yet, so it's kind of a little sparse. Like, there needs to be more in there. I was kind of going for, like, fake looking ground and, everything looks like just a fake decoration. You just sitting outside someone's house on Halloween. Can do that for Christmas decorations. Going to do that for a bunch of like children's toys, and then I'm gonna have like a more secret area that's more sinister. It's kind of hidden behind all the other crap in the attic. Though I had already made this, and I was just gonna, as a reward for beating the bosses, I was gonna put this in as a unfinished level for them to try out, just to see it. So I'm not really going to do too much for it, other than to make it where you aren't hitting invisible stuff. And so right now I'm trying to get, I'm walking around moving each of these collisions a bit so I know about where they need to go. Making notes on it so I can adjust them all at once. Am I even okay with this one? I don't know. Oh, the cat's like way off, but I can't tell because it's on top of the skull. I think I'm just going to call the skull good enough. Am I? Oof, I don't know. It felt a little weird running around it. The back feels okay. I guess I can shrink the skull by a little bit. So, shrink X by... We'll just do 10. I don't want it to be too much. That one's really close. Yeah, I haven't made any extra things to find that are any different on this, and I do have the teddies, but their animations are a little wonky, as you can see by the way their swords jerk like that. Because they're idle and moving animations, the sword's too far apart. So, I need to fix that at some point, and I'll get around to it eventually. I need to spawn more things on these levels too. Looking for a few more of the blocks that I haven't actually managed to check out yet. See where I'm supposed to put the things, but I might just move a few and come back anyway. The cat's like... Okay, so pretty much tell it needs to go down by at least 10. The cat is number 9. So we'll do move right by 40, down by 10. Alright, let's fix all that then. Yeah, this is what I have to do every single time I do one of these areas. I have to sit there and try to guess where these colliders are going to go, because I can't edit it while looking at it, so... Kind of takes a while. Yeah, it's not a good method. It really isn't. The engine's not even normally capable of it. Someone actually wrote this plugin that adds all this in, so it, unsurprisingly, it's just not going to be that great. I mean, you know, is what it is. Visuals take a very long time in this engine, whereas, you know, I could make the visuals in Unreal Engine significantly faster, but then coding stuff can take quite a while in both. Let's see, 4 looks fine, 6, shrink X by 10, and it's got to go down by 20. Okay. So just how bad it was when I started doing this last night. It was just, or yesterday, they were so far off. So far off, and even the wrong shape. 7 needs to go left 40 and left 40. Wait, no, to the left. So do negative instead. I'm going to cancel it. See where was I was supposed to do it. Okay, so that is right. Okay. And then down by 20. I have a really bad habit of mixing up the directions as I'm doing this. It's just so easy to forget which number is which, because it's just very monotonous. It's got to go right by 40 and down by 10. I wasn't actually even going to do this for the prototype, but I thought about it. I was going to make a whole, like, you know, special area for them for having beaten all the bosses in the prototype, and then I realized I already could just spend that time making the next area and just have them go to that instead. Seems like it would be a lot better. anything that actually advances the game's development. I really want to focus on making the gameplay a little better, though. Like, there's just some stuff that feels a little awful so far, as far as the combat. So I want the prototype's combat to be somewhat strong. Oh, I need this up too. This one feels pretty good. I think we're gonna call this one. Like, it's close enough. It's never gonna probably be perfect, but it is this engine. But that's not bad. You could run a little more behind it, I guess, but for now. I don't want to spend a huge amount of time on an area that's not even finished. That's weird. We'll mark that as good to go. Cat is still way off. So it's got to go move right by maybe more like 50. I mean, 40 didn't move it very much. And then we'll do down by 10. I think I settled on this tree was fine. Yeah, I was okay with that tree. This is obviously terrible. So 7's got to go with the left by like 30 and down by another 10. You know, like maybe they could be. I don't know. I was kind of under the impression that because the other one got named Boozeberry, it was, you know, the drunken one, or the one that looked like he was high, that was just his specific name, as opposed to all mean that. I usually just call them the Teddies, but maybe. I don't know. I haven't really come up with a lot of good lore for them at the moment. Other than they bizarrely all have plastic swords. Sometimes it's the only asset you have available, so you just go with it. I might. There's actually different colored teddies. It's just that I have temporarily removed them from the game while I'm working on the prototype, because I'm gonna have they'll be in later. They already exist. It's just they're not anywhere close to finished. This thing needs to go over to the left by a bunch. So move left by 30. Yeah, I've got assassin versions of them that are actually, they look more like shadows. And they try to sneak up on the player. And angrier versions of them that are like berserkers. And they're more reddish. I might actually just redo the model for all of them so that they're all, the coloring is much better, but I'm not sure on that yet. It would be something I do later. I don't know what I'm going to do about this one. I hate this one. I think I might just want to take this one out. This feels weird. I think given the shape of this one, I'm just going to remove it from the game. I don't like it. Or I need to fix it in general. It's just so bad. It's just such a weird shape, and this engine's so terrible at dealing with it. Or I'll make it more circular. Maybe I'll do that. I'll make it circular. Any way you can help? I mean, any suggestions you make on, you know, things I can improve is always welcome. At some point, there'll be a version up that people can test, the prototype. So, you know, any feedback you can provide on, you know, testing it to see how it plays out would also be helpful. I'm trying to get the prototype out ASAP, but right now it's really just any suggestions that can be made. Not sure if I'll implement the suggestion immediately or anything, depending upon what it is. I may or may not, but I'm keeping a list of things people suggest so then I can potentially add them in if the idea works out. I mean, not every idea is going to make it, obviously, but if people want to think of the ideas for me, I ain't going to stop them. That seems very helpful. We'll call 4 okay. Close enough. I think this tree is fine. I think it could probably be a little better. But it's probably okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. If anything else, because it's really boring to sit there and constantly have to move each thing a tiny little bit and then come back in and move a tiny little bit and come back in over and over and over. I think I already did this one. Yeah. I think I've got all of them except for wherever 2 is, and 2 looks like the pumpkin. So, where are you, pumpkin house? Any pumpkin house. Oh, what's a suggestion? I just need to do something completely different with 5. Here's how we're going to fix 5. I may do that. I was kind of giving each of the, you know, various toys their own special status ailment. And currently the Jack-in-the-Box is spew poison. But it might happen. I might mix it up a bit more. I was trying to design multiple ones for an area so they had complementary abilities. So this way it would, you know, they could try to tag team the player. I really only did that with the Annie-Bells so far, though. The rest of them needed some work. I don't know why I didn't do this particular idea a while ago, where I just move a few of these around so that they don't jet out the bottom here like this. So much easier. Because now that's way more circular and probably just way easier in general to deal with. No, oops. Close enough. I don't care that much. And then I'm going to move the whole image down towards the center a little bit. And that should make it so much easier. But yeah, for the Annie-Bells, like, I had ones that, where their whole behavior pattern changed the darker the map got. They went from being, you know, passive or trying to run away from you to trying to, you know, come in and start stabbing you. Because, you know, they're cowards, but once it's dark, they, you know, they get brave again. The main reason the teddies had slow is because they're trying to run up and stab you so all the time, which meant that they wanted to keep the... I didn't want the player to be able to get away from them as easily. That's an idea. I could actually make the teddies steal health, or some other later thing steal health. Maybe not the teddies, but something. I'm gonna add that mechanic in actually as a note. Enemy with vampiric attack. Where are my notes for this? So 7 needs to move left a bit. That means this needs to be move left by 30. And then down by 10. And then, oh wait, not that one, don't do that one. Move it left by that, so minus 60. I don't know about an actual Grim Reaper. The only reason for it is that all the dolls are caught in a loop. So what happens is when they die, they just end up coming back and trying to complete their loops over and over. It's just a curse thing. So they're never actually truly dead. That's why it just gets popped right back out into the regular world, and why they never run out of dolls, because otherwise you would quickly kill off every single doll in the attic. It wouldn't take very long. I mean, I could have like a death of dolls or something like that, kind of like Discworld had like the death of mice or something like that, or yeah, or it was just a Grim Reaper that was basically a rat. That is an idea. I'll think about it, but I don't know if it fits the lore idea or not. Huh. Oh. Maybe. A death of toys is an idea. Maybe. I'll add it to the list of things to think about. Worst thing that happens is I don't use it, but any idea often leads to potentially useful ideas too. Like, like ideas. Oh, that's wrong. Ideas that I end up using because they fit the game more. Like, I'll take an idea that someone suggests and then tweak it a bit so it fits with what we're doing. Grim Reaper of toys? Question mark? Add that to my list. Yes. I do like me some Discworld, so I wouldn't mind emulating some of the ideas they had. Oh, gotta click again. Hopefully we're even remotely close. This one is just a pain. Alright, so number 6 is just... It needs to go to the left by a gross amount. We'll do like minus 80 this time on number 6. I'm tired. Well, that's number 6. That's number 7. So we're moving it left by 80. Down by, I guess, 20, because 10 barely moved it. And then those are fine. I'm looking for the pumpkin house. I'm looking for Well, this one we've already talked about. I'm looking for the gargoyle, and I'm looking for the cat. And that's pretty much the last three I want to set up. Oh, and the stakes. So the stakes are over here, and that's going to be way easier. It looks like I need to shrink it by the Y by about, I don't know, 40. Yeah, we'll shrink the Y by about 40 on that one. That is number 5. Yeah. I think Y by 40. We'll give that a shot and see how that goes. Hey, Fearless, how's it going? Yeah. Swap to this one here. You're just in time to see me tweak with these a bit. Honestly, I think I'm fine with the cat. I'm not fine with this gargoyle. The gargoyle is 8. We're gonna move left by like 60. That thing is just barely feels like it's moving. And I haven't found the cat yet necessarily. And the pumpkin house is right there. How do we feel about pumpkin house? It's got something on top of it. I can't tell. Gotta find a different pumpkin house. Oops. Can't move out of the way. There we go. One thing's for certain, the teddies are kind of vicious. I think I'm fine with the pumpkin house. It looks like it's reasonable. Not great, but reasonable. I'm still looking for the... Actually, no, the cat looked fine, didn't it? Yeah, we settled on the cat was actually fine. Actually, it could move down some, looking at it. Actually, I just need to shrink the Y entirely. Shrink Y by 20, move down 10. Do that, so it's a little more accurate. I want to find the clean pumpkin house so I can see if I can walk completely around it without a problem, or at least reasonably around it. I tested that side already, so it's probably fine. I think we can call it safe. We're good enough. At least only the 4 to figure out. Ah yes, Fearless's famous moment. Wherever labeling the dab a cough, or the cough a dab, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, hopefully you're feeling way better. Didn't seem so great yesterday. So 5 needs to be shrink the Y by 40. Okay. 7 needs to be move left by 80. Minus 240. Down by 20. Okay. It has to go left by 60. And then you shrink the Y by 20. And then move it down 10. Oh, what's the suggestion? Oh yeah, the red circles? keep thinking they should change their message to something else or just leave them as a red circle, but or I just put the word danger in them just because. What's your suggestion? Light red to dark red, as in like just over time it gets lighter than darker? Like with a timer? Well, maybe. Would have to fade in. I'm gonna have to make some coding so that the plugin has the ability to do that. It's an interesting idea. I'll add it to the list. It's gonna take some extra coding because the plugin I currently have isn't capable of doing that yet. I could do an exclamation. The only thing is a singular exclamation would be kind of maybe easy to miss in all the red circles. I do kind of like the fade in idea though. Huh. I'll add that to the list of things there. Red circles, fade in from light to dark. Different red circle message? Question mark? Like I say, the problem with that particular the fade in thingy like that with the changing colors is my plugin currently can't do that, so I'm gonna have to take some time to write the plugin, fix the plugin so it can. Probably not gonna get into the next the first prototype purely because it's gonna require me to make a tool that can do it, but it's not a bad idea. Also glad you're feeling better, Fearless. I think I'm changing the code to do the fade in thing. It's just an opacity change, I'm sure, and then I have to have a change color over time option. I'm not sure how the change color over time option works necessarily. I have to think about that one. I can give it two colors, but how do you transition between the two? What is the difference between one color and the next? How do you get the variance between the two? I'm sure there's some way with hex how it works. Like some way to change the code slightly to just gradually do it. But it might actually just be easier to have the circle be an intentionally darker red graphic and then just fade the graphic in, because that's just changing the opacity, and that's not that hard. I have it set to it can fade out, but I never made the fade in for it. To be honest, I didn't have much use for it, but it's not a bad idea to actually just make that as a feature for the plugin. Yeah, see, this one looks way better now. I'm just gonna go ahead and call that one. It looks fine. I just have the last three to worry about, and then I'll worry about making additional assets for this later. The cats looks like it has to go farther down. Not too bad, actually. Actually, it's reasonable. It's still a little crappy on that side a bit. You know what? I'm just gonna call the cat. I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. I feel like I'm just nitpicking at this point. This one's looking pretty decent too. I mean, okay, it's terrible. I can't go any lower than that. That's pretty bad. That one is 7, I believe. Yeah. That one just needs to be almost paper thin. So we're gonna have to shrink Y by probably 40. Then we'll move it down by 20. Because once I shrink it, it's gonna end up higher up, so I'm gonna have to Immediately move down. And then I'm looking for the gargoyle, I believe. Yeah, the gargoyle's 8, right? Yep. I'm just going to call the gargoyle too, so I just want to do it with that one. Well, actually, let's turn this off and then see how it looks. See how close I can get to it. Pretty close. The back's a little weird. I'm not sure I like the back a lot, but not horrible. It could be shrunk a bit more, I guess. It's true. Alright, it can be shrunk more. Fine. Shrink both by 40. Move down by 20. We'll do that. This one I had to shrink the Y. And then move it down. And this one I was shrinking both. Never mind, I just did the wrong thing on that one. This might be why half the time I've had them end up in weird locations. This one was 8. This I had to shrink both of these by 40. I do this. And then this, and then move it down 20. And this is the other one I have to change where I'm shrinking the Y by 40. And then moving it down by 20. Oh, it's never going to be early access, most of them. It's just going to be, well, I guess in a way it's early access. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to release a prototype, which is just the concept game for people to play with. Probably pretty soon, honestly. And then each week I'm just going to keep updating it with whatever I work on the stream so people can, you know, show up and tell me what they like and dislike, and I can change things. So it won't really be an early access. It'll just be pretty much free whenever you want. I mean, I'll have the ability to donate if you want. You don't have to. Just playing it and letting me know how things go is in itself, or just showing up to the stream is in itself, you know, good enough. Like, I'm more than happy for that. But it was just going to be up on itch, and, you know, it'd be... I'm not going to pay to put it on Steam or anything, because that costs $100, and if I'm giving the game away for free, I'm not paying $100. Terrible. Yeah, it'll be available to play relatively soon. I really just wanted to... I basically need to put in some sound effects. I need to... I was just tweaking the last thing so that it kind of all worked, so... I feel pretty good about the location of most of these. Are they moving the cat still? No, I'm good with the cat. Yeah, that's where I'm going to put it, Moss. What I'm putting on itch.io with the... with free to download, and you can, you know, donate to it if you want. You don't got it. It's free to play. You know? But I want people to be able to, you know, test it out, see if they like it. You know, let me know what they need to change. It is only going to have a Windows version, unfortunately, for people. This engine doesn't really export to Mac, so anyone who's a Mac person, sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Well, it doesn't do a very good job of it. It breaks, so. Perfect. Most people do have Windows, so I figured it'd be good enough. There was one person who was a little sad, but I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Apple changed some things, so this engine's no longer supported, so... I'm just having a hard time positioning this. I'm going to move that over by 20. Move right by 20. The other one I'm looking for is number 7, which is... not that one. The other one of the gravestones. Wherever it is. Yeah, I've released some stuff on itch before, and I've learned that basically it's hard to get people to even play a game, just even try it, let alone sell it. So that's why I'm trying to build up an audience on YouTube and just turn this into an interactive building experience. So then it'll support my game dev habit maybe, and more people can play the game. So it's pretty much a win-win. Well, this location on these is terrible. It needs to be moved down anyway by at least 20. It's down by 20. Well, thanks, Moss One. I figure worst comes to worst, if we all have a good time, you know, hanging out, watching me build it or something, and in itself, that's worth something right there, you know? Even if the game doesn't turn out amazing. It'll be my first, you know, actual game release. You know, I did release a Game Jam game a while ago, but it was broken and terrible. So I took it back down, but this will be the first real game. Needs to go right by 20. No, this is 7. This needs to be, go ahead and cancel that and try again here. Down by 20. For 8, we're looking at right by 20. Hopefully I'll be done with this, setting these colliders up soon. I always dread doing this, so. Yeah, at least I've gotten better at doing it and doing it faster after having done it for the other game too. That's part of why I wanted to just drop a bunch of the assets from the other game to this one so I wouldn't have to redo it, but the problem with that is they don't artistically fit very well, so I might want to redo the ground on this one so it looks like a cheap grass instead of what it currently is. That doesn't have any colliders to worry about, so. You know, I think I'm pretty much happy with this one. There's too many enemies around. I need to reduce the number of enemies. You know, I'm fine with it. I just want it done, so we'll call 7 good. As long as we're close. This is an unfinished area. It's not supposed to be perfect. That's why it's called the unfinished area. There's a gargoyle here. It is kind of covered by things, but it seems good enough to me. I'll see if I can find one that's in the clear to get a little better of an idea. But I'm like 50 minutes in of, I think, just doing this, and I haven't even really done anything else besides try to fix these things. I need to update the encounter system so that there's more or less enemies based on which map we're on, too. That seems to be a thing. I still haven't gotten around to writing all the dialogue for things yet either. It's on the list of things to do. Also, you know what? I think Teddy needs a fixed hitbox there. Where is the stuff for prototype 1? My list is getting really long. Let's see. Fix boss Teddy's hitbox. Actually shrink it. To be honest, it probably needs one about the same size as the other ones. I'm just going to copy one of the ones from one of the other toys that's walking on its hind legs. Probably the Annie Bell one is pretty close, I imagine. They're about the same size, I think. Are they? I think they are. Pretty close. Yeah, probably. It's got to be closer. Alright, and I don't see any one of the gargoyle. Oh, there's one right there. Never mind. That looks good enough to me, honestly. Apparently I can't walk any closer around that because it's got another collider nearby it. Whatever. I'm willing to call them. So the thing that's weird is there's like enough events here for a bunch of ones there, but these don't actually, they're not in there. They don't do anything. I never made a block 10, I guess. That's probably where the whole unfinished thing came about. Instead of actually getting around to finish it, because I made a bunch of attic ones, and those are for the regular attic, but I only made 9 for this. That's fine. I'm not going to make more right now. That's why it's unfinished. We'll come up with more later. So for prototype 2, I'll make that. So Halloween area. Add more blocks. Kind of getting a roadmap going for each area that I'm working on, so I have an idea of what I'm supposed to come up with. Probably a little easier. Oh, I also picked up a new microphone today, so I had to return the other one I was borrowing from my friend. So maybe I sound better, maybe I sound worse, I don't know. I need to get a stand for it so it doesn't pick up keyboard noise, which I'll get at some point. Oh, hey, Freeze Epic, how's it going? You just missed me sitting there trying to resize Collision for a bunch of map thingies. It's like the worst process that I do is you lucked out. Let's remove those from my list of things to do because I don't care about those anymore. The quest characters need to have their dialogue fixed too. Make quest characters dialogue appear upon finding them, or at least talking to them. I don't know, they just kind of walk towards the player, and it's fine, I guess, but is it? Huh. Is it indeed? The other thing I need to go through is I need to come up with sound effects for every single attack in this game. I don't know if people want me to do that on stream or not, because what it's going to involve me doing is going through my laundry list of sound files and playing each one and then seeing if it sounds right for what I'm doing. I've done it before. It is not a pleasant experience. Oh, thanks, Freeze Epic. I'm glad you're here to catch it as well. I kind of want to tweak the dolls to be a little, or just all the enemies to be a little smarter, or a little, play a little better. But what I really need to do is this. This needs a change. And it's going to come about where I set max enemies, I think. I think area variables is the one that's I'm going to base it on. Wait. What does this read? This reads game variables .234. I think I set up a thing to actually keep track of the location previously. Almost certainly. Current location. Oh, that's convenient. Alright, so... value 234 is equal to attic. Let's make one for each of the current 4 areas. I do have it as just that, right? Let's double check. Before I foolishly set it all up and then go, hey, wait a minute, that's totally wrong. Yeah. Been there. Done that many times. Yeah, it looks like it's about what it is. Gee, where does it set that at 234? Right here, yeah. Okay. Well, that's smart of me to have put that right there. Makes it very easy. But yeah, Freeze Epic, as I was telling Mosswell in there, you know, if you have any suggestions on things that I can improve, you know, or just ideas in general, let me know. I usually add them to my list unless it's something I can actually do immediately. Not everything's going to make it in, but sometimes it just inspires better ideas than what I was doing. So, the more the merrier. I can always use suggestions. I really don't think there should be so many teddies in... they're pretty vicious. Sure, we'll do 4 here. And how many helpers do I want each one to have? We can have 2. I mean, don't worry about it being a good suggestion, Freeze Epic. It could be a bad suggestion, too. There's nothing wrong with those as well. We, you know, we must explore all options in order to find the best possible ones. Probably the only suggestions I usually won't be taking will be ones where you suggest I put in people who aren't toys. Like, everything has to be a toy for this, so one person wanted me to put an actual, like, a young boy in there, and I was like, well, the problem is everyone's a toy, so this young boy would be just, like, towering over everyone, and it'd be really weird. Oh, well, I'm glad you two love it. It's always good to hear. Actually, these guys are kind of weak. I almost want them to have a few more. These can just be 2, I think. I want to keep those there. The teddies, I don't know, but Boss Teddy's kind of vicious. Definitely no more than 2, but we'll stick with 2 on that one. Let's see, just set this up so this one could have a few more. I guess the exploding ones could be a few more. It's supposed to be an early area. Though, if you do suggest a person, you know, who would be like a regular, you know, human or whatever, that doesn't mean I might not make a toy version of them. That could happen. A lot of it comes down to available assets and time to make them, so... I'm definitely down to make things, though it can be time consuming, so... It does limit how many I can do. The jacks are kind of wimpy. I think they should have a few more. Might do 4 Annies instead. Actually, I have this in a weird location. That's not going to work at all. Let me rework this. It was pretty dumb, actually. I'm loath to run this over and over and over. Wait, is that in the wrong location? No, it seems actually it might be fine. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Moss One. Usually the best way to make friends is go find some sort of hobby you like, where you know there are people, and just go do the hobby there. You just go hang out with the people, and chances are, because you have a shared, interest with those people, you're much more likely to become their friend. It's no guarantee, of course, but it gives people a reason to hang out around you, even if they aren't your friend, so that you can become their friend. I think I just moved this out of that. I'm not going to use the encounter system timer. I'll make sure they're both under there. Okay, it should work. I mean, if they find you annoying, they were never really your friend in the first place, right? Your friend should find you at least, enjoyable to be around. Otherwise, how are they your friend? Like, why would they? They're just some random person at that point. They don't even like being around you? That's weird. Doing what you can to get people who don't like you to try and like you seems like a terrible plan. Some people, they just have similar personalities and similar, things they find fun. And those are the people you should probably try to hang out with. Like, if someone was super into sports, I'm not really into sports that much, so I'm probably not going to have much, in line with them, especially because I'm, kind of a computer nerd here. So we probably wouldn't mesh too much. I mean, I'll still chat with people, sure, because you never know. I've definitely encountered some people that have surprised me. They definitely proved to be much different from what I thought they would be, but otherwise, just talk to people, go meet people. Don't sweat it if people don't like you, because, not everyone's going to like everyone. With billions of people in the world, I'm sure you'll find someone. Probably a lot of someones, honestly. That Teddy thing is pretty savage. I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm even trying to finish this. I think I was just counting the number of enemies. There's 2 enemies with him. That seems reasonable. They spawn again so fast though. Like I killed them and they're already right here. Well, they didn't this time. There's another one back there. And where did the enemies spawn too fast? Also, I have no idea where the boss went. Did the boss die? What? Where'd you go, boss? There's the boss, but then why is there so many enemies? Wait a minute. Let's do F9. Yeah, the place I live in, it's a college city. So it's not really the destination that you end at. People tend to come here to go to college and then they leave. So over the years, I've had so many friends just move away. And you just got to get all new friends over and over and over. Those of us born in the area actually do stay in the area because our family's here, you know, our friends are here. Well, some of our friends are still here. Max enemies is at 2. What is current enemies at? 4. How does that work? I guess I'll kill a couple of them and see if they Oh, this might cause breaks, yeah. Oh, that kind of fixed, sorta. Let's see, do this. If I kill some of these people, what happens? There's enough enemies dead that it should, in theory, have only 2 of them out at this point. I think I'm seeing 3, maybe 4, yeah. That's weird. There's current enemies too, but we can already see that is not a true statement. I also might want to take this code and put it into the thing here. Actually, one of the things I could do is I could simply set this information in the area variables and just not even have that here. But I have to have boss spawned on. That's a thing that would need to be set somewhere else anyway. The setting of that would make much sense if the boss is going to have less enemies. Unless the boss itself is rigged to change that number. But somehow current enemies is getting too high. I'm going to console log some information here. I'm curious. $234 for the area, and then 290, 90 and 190, 191. Catch you later, Moss One. Thanks for wandering by the stream. And for the suggestions. Let's close the other one there. I need to see if it's really adding above there. I'm seeing extra enemies that shouldn't be there. having the player get swarmed by just a completely absurd number of enemies seems pretty bad. You gotta make all the enemies pretty stupid if the player's getting swarmed by them, like zombie level is stupid, and not really give them mechanics, or give them really simple mechanics. I could have a swarm area. I don't know, Prophet only fires so fast though, so I can't have her get swarmed too much. Bring this up to the side here so I can... Okay, it's spamming something else. What are you spamming here? 682 and 705. What's this? Alright, well, I'm going to restart the game knowing that, because every time I get anywhere near any section of the ground, it's spamming that. So I won't even be able to see the information I need to see. I'm not looking forward to doing sound effects for this game. Sound effects, and, well, I still gotta write so much dialogue. Well, maybe not that much dialogue. It is just the prototype. So I might give it a basic intro story, but the full story will likely get added in much later. Especially because I keep adding in more areas later, so I can't really have the full story without the areas. So it is kind of ironic that I'm sitting here working on an unfinished area. Like, of all things to be working on, it is a little strange. It's definitely supposed to not be made yet. Honestly, I originally considered having the Jack-in-the-Boxes here or something in the more Halloween area, or even the clown heads. But the area just isn't finished, so... Alright, let's bring up this information here so I have an idea of what's going on. Wait, what? Attack ticker? What? Where in the world is that coming from? That's interesting. $190 is the current enemies, right? Where is the attack ticker from? I'm gonna guess the Big Teddy's got it. I have to remember to remove these console logs from the events because they're actually really hard to find later. Unlike in my plugins where it tells me the exact line, it does not do that in the events here. So it's very easy to forget about one and then spend forever trying to find it again. This right here. Console log, console log, console log. I was working on this enemy, but not right now. I'm no interest in working on it right now. But being spammed by all this, not so great. And then the heat-seeking, not heat-seeking thing. Let's see. I believe that was a projectile thing, because those are the only heat-seeking things in the game. Alright. Now that I've removed all those, it'll stop spamming the information. I can see actually the information I need. I wasn't going to use this track in the other game I was working on. For a more sad area. But I never got around to actually finishing that area. I found about 150 tracks that I don't get copyright strikes on. I paid for all of them, but I get, well, not copyright strikes, but I don't get copyright notices on. Though I've paid for all of them, I get copyright notices for stuff I paid for the rights to use, so it's very awkward. And I've definitely not felt the need to sit there and file every possible rebuttal on them. It's just a lot of work. You gotta provide all your personal information to some random person on the internet just in the hopes of using the music you paid for. Not very exciting. Oh, I need to bring this up because I want to know if it's over-spawning enemies or not. 2 of 4. The boss is out here, so 2 of 4 seems incredibly incorrect. One of 2. But I see a lot more than 2 enemies there. Let's kill a couple of them because I don't think they despawn. I'm wondering if it's not removing the current enemy from the array or something. I don't know. One of 2. I see more than, like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I see more than 1. Yeah, this isn't right because the last time it said was 1 of 2, and there is most assuredly 4 of them on the screen right now. That's not right. How in the world is that happening? Um... 191's the max. Still at 2. 190 is the current, and the current is at 4. But that shouldn't be possible because this is rigged to only trigger this command if 190 is less than 191 as far as, you know, the variables. So wherever the command is, the encounter system is... This system needed a lot of reworking. I'm not going to lie to you. This system is just not... It's not robust enough to do what it's supposed to do. It's an if-else. Let me look at the command that spawns them. Encounter table. Encounter table might actually just spawn more than the number, in which case that doesn't work at all. I'll need to come up with a better system. But I don't think I'm going to do that right now. With that tools encounter table? NPC, okay. I guess it makes sense. All the NPCs are handled by the same thing, so. Table. Right here, the spawn numbers are random. Okay, well that's not going to work for enemies. It's okay for the others though. But for enemies, it's going to need to be just equal 1. That might explain why I felt like I was getting swarmed even though I'd reduced the number of enemies. It's just like, but why is there so many? I kill 1 and like 3 of them are back there. That shouldn't be how it works. I think at one point I had delusions of it not being more of a drip feed, and I was like, well, I could have it more of an encounter type of system where, you know, encounters are more complex, but yeah, I'm not doing that for the first prototype. That's going to take a lot of time to write that particular system. So we're going to go with the tried and true, just make it work. So some people can play something. Also, I do have that up, sure. Yeah, enter the painting world now. Huh. Yeah, hour and 23 minutes into the stream. It's surprising. It's amazing how much time can go towards just messing with weird things and tweaking stuff. I mean, designing assets is more interesting, I think. Of course, designing them in DAZ is something I can't do on stream, so without crashing the stream. I can't render them anyway. I can definitely build it in there and it should be fine, maybe. I could work on the quest people a little better so they're not just totally worthless. Or you just lead them out. Oh, I didn't realize Freeze Epic was saying bye to me. I thought he was saying bye to Moss Point. Okay, well, you know. Easy mistake to make. Bring this up. There should be more than 2, but it doesn't despawn them, so if I get far enough away from them, it'll despawn. So it should be 1 or 2. I did save this, right? Like, I'm not an idiot? Okay. Oh, the boss actually also counts as a current enemy as well. Let me check this out here. I'm not sure I want the boss to count as a current enemy. Also, I should have just typed it in there because it'd be easier. It's just current enemies too. Max enemies too. It seems like it's working. Page 1 actually adds +1 to current enemies, or does it? I mean, it pushes it to the enemy array, but I don't think it actually adds +1 to the enemies, which is perfectly fine to me. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Works for me. I forgot to link the stream in the Discord. Oops. I'll do that really fast, even though it's like an hour and a half in. Oops. Also, I opened that up. Sure. There's a couple people who actually like to watch me, but okay. So I'm okay with this system here, and I think I like that they are a little more toned down. But now I kind of want to test each area and see if it actually plays out a little better. Because I was building it assuming that they were just swarming, and I was cutting down the numbers because of how ridiculous it was. But with it being potentially able to have up to what was 15 enemies previously, because of the fact that they could get lucky and roll 3 on each of the encounters, didn't seem likely because 5 rolls of 3 seem with the potential of 4 outcomes on each of the rolls because it's 0 to 3. Can't drive myself. That. Just thinking I have to find a way to get myself to a doctor's appointment, but I can't drive myself because they're gonna sedate me when I get there. So I need to try to think of a solution. How does that happen? Let's see. The error is that tarot cards sometimes appear attached to enemies, but aren't really there. I'm not sure. There's like some sort of a glitch. I'll make a note that it was a devil card. Just in case it's a specific event ID or name or something. I got a bunch of things running in my head at the moment. I usually, I'm always just thinking on stuff. You know what might be more fun than having weird attacks like this? Maybe just having varied shots. Like, they all act the same, but they do different things on each thing. I don't know. Maybe. You don't really need a heal spell to beat this boss. I don't think so. That one had the Fool card attached to it. It's kind of hard to shoot him. I almost don't like the heal spell existing. Because it feels too, wow, that's a lot of fire. Feels almost too good. I could give Poppet more health if that's the case. She didn't take any damage there. That's interesting. Why didn't she take damage there? That's weird. Also, all the fire thingies put up a bunch of messages too I need to delete. Because when the game is running, these actually do affect performance if you have enough of them going. It's not a lot, but it does add up. These are all the ones I'm looking at there. You can see how much the secondary fire was getting spammed quite a few times. Before I release it, I do have to remove every one of these console logs, so I don't think there's any in this. Do I just get the player heal to start with? Or do I just make heal not something they can have easily, if at all? Seems so hard to balance. I almost like the cooldown idea better than I like the magic points. It's really true. I really do like the cooldown idea better. I have to make a special system for the cooldown, though. Do I want to do that in this right now, or do I just want to call it square? I think I just call it square for the moment. I'm not really looking to add in a whole new system at the moment if I do that. Wait, why didn't she die? She should be dead, right? What the hell happened there? Why isn't she dying? That kills her, but the explosion thingy didn't kill her. Seems like there's a bunch of random dopey little things that need some fixes that are just weird. I do like less enemies there. I'm gonna run into the next area and see how that plays out. I guess I do want them to have to go in and rescue the person first, because they can try to win without it, but it's easier to win with, so you probably want to rescue the person first, so I think I reward them for having done that. Yeah, I need an invincible looking thing for that when they're able to race in like that. So I still get confused by it, and then I see the little thing underneath them that says they're invincible, well, the little charge thingy. It's just a random card underneath them. I don't know what's causing that. That's strange. How is it getting two images? Poison's broken. It's 2 a card. Does it actually kill the player? Let's see. I have to get hit by a little more poison if I was gonna die from it though. Actually, we'll see if any of these things kill the player. Might just be the clown heads that don't kill a player. Seem to die, so that works. Hmm. Okay, so what are we doing here? I guess I'll check the other ones out too and see how they feel, I guess. Originally I'd done all this, but the I didn't think about them having oh, this is probably gonna glitch, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, it does. I didn't think about them having less enemies. I didn't realize they were spawning too many. I probably need some rebalancing because I definitely nerfed things in the figuring that they were just spawning way too many, and it was just a real problem. I must say the biggest problem I have in game dev so far has been that I literally try to rush things when I could easily make the player go do more and just kind of extend the play a bit. Let's see, unlock rewards area here. We'll just do the anti-bell boss, I guess. That breaks too. I should add to my errors. So, enable painting texture breaks. I'm still getting stuck moving in direction too. That's a problem. Let's see. Character sometimes gets stuck moving in one, moving in a direction. I guess it's close enough. Like, it's weird. I might increase the player's hit points. I'm actually starting to think that's a good idea. This one just immune? Are you like, no, you're in it. As long as this projectile is not very accurate either. I definitely don't think it needs that many annies to help. What number did I set for this? Feels like maybe it should be 2. It is 2. Almost feels like it should be 2 all the time. I could change the encounter system timer based upon if it's the boss is out or not. Am I doing that? Wait. It isn't there, okay. It just adds 1 down there and eventually it resets itself to 0. I'll make a slight change to this here. We're going to create an else. So this way, if it's not that, it runs this code. So this way, when it sets it to 0, it doesn't immediately set it to 1 on the thing there. So it basically provides a slight amount more of my time. Same with this one here. And I do have a system for the encounter timer so it doesn't immediately spawn. And it's like 5 seconds or something before it really spawns. Well, let's start fixing a lot of these problems. I got a bunch of things that need to be fixed here. Like the quest characters appearing right by the exit seems kind of stupid. Like you'll come in there and they'll immediately start talking to you, like saying, "Oh, we got in, cool." Also, their dialogue is broken. I'm not even sure on this one. It's going to take a bunch of effort to figure this out. I'm not sure it's a big important fix, so. And there's this monstrosity too. You know, maybe I'll fix that first because it's been bugging me. So, and I talked about it like I think multiple times and said it for the last 3 streams that I'll do that, and I never did. So for the ghost thingy here, I think it's like Ghost Trail, right? Yeah. I could just remove it entirely. Maybe that's what I do, because right now the Z won't work. Also, I won't have to run this command where I create it in here either. It'll just be there. We'll do if actually, no, right down here below this, we're gonna do a thing where we set thing here. We'll in the player variable here. I guess I'll go there. No. Variable. Find the player variables wherever they're at. A lot of player variables. Previous direction. 78. And we're going to set this as game player last direction. We're going to do a thing here if it's right here. Game player dot last direction is not equal game variables dot value 78. We run this, and then we do this. I get mistakes were made. Apparently I didn't copy paste it. It's okay, it's right here anyway. So let's do that. Do I need an else? No. That'll prevent it from running over and over. What's the exact code used for this one? Or that I used previously? It's under profitabilities. Let's just borrow all this information right here. I can turn a story on that map too. And then back to this here. This is actually gonna have to go over here too, where it has any portion where it's the ghost trail command, it's gonna have to go there. That should be fine. This could easily be expanded to be much better than it is. But well, it might need to be. If game variables dot value game switches dot value. Yeah, story 78, right? Okay, so 78. If that is equal to true, else the system's definitely going to be a necessary visual improvement, though it's not as important on that map, but we're adding this in for a bit of future proofing. Do that, but we also need to delete the previous one, so map dot delete p emitter particle. That's why it repeats some of these songs more than I think it should. That's okay. Definitely an all quiet on the Western Front tonight. On the other hand, I think last night people didn't even really show up till 2 hours in. There are people this time, but it kind of makes me wonder. You know, I get some of the most people watching starting at closer to 4 a.m., but I start at 2. And I end up stopping, even though it's, you know, there are people watching closer to like around 8 a.m. You finished the video and you're suddenly summoned here? Aha, success. I just forgot to post it in the, you know, in the Discord. There was one person who complained at me when I didn't actually post in the Discord. So now I just post it there. Like, why did you delete the link? I was going to use that. And I'm like, but, I mean, okay, I'll put it back. Well, you actually were, never mind. Here I was thinking you're actually following a link from the Discord. You actually got sent to a recommended for this, right? Wow. Wow. YouTube does have my back. Wait a minute. Well, that broke everything. Oh gosh. Why? Why did it do that? Mistakes were made. No. Let me turn it off for this map. This map's special. It's got a lot of things happening on it that don't happen on other maps. So before I make this system for everywhere. Yeah. So what video did you end up finishing? What sort of things does YouTube think is related to my content? This excites me. That's worked perfectly, except for that it's a little slow to come back, but... We're gonna go fix that particle. Oh, wait. That's not how you open it in a web page. That's not how it works at all. That is terrible. Bring that up real quick. And then I'll drag it over to the screen. Alright, so problem is if it moves, like if it gets added quickly, it takes a moment to really get its act together. So there's that brief moment when she now changes direction where if it deletes the particle and adds it again, it's just a little bit too slow. So why are we doing burst? Wouldn't just point be better? Pretty much. I think it refreshes faster if it's point as well. Yeah. I can make it refresh even faster though. On frequency of whatever that counts as. A very low number. Yes. Well, it looks like it's good enough. There's a slight gap in it. Well, sort of. It does seem better than it was. Close enough. Let's give it a shot. What do I call this? Topic Ghost. Perfect. Alright, let's see what happens if we do that. This visual bug has been bothering me for, I think, 2 streams now, and I just kept forgetting about it. I need to fix it on this map too, but this map starts a whole bunch of game start variables and needs to be restructured to kind of work with everything else. It's gone for a little while if she changes direction. I think it might actually need to be bigger because, you know, burst actually made it slightly larger. If that's the case. Did it not keep that information? Oh, never mind. I guess you can't go lower than that. Just not a thing. That's as fast as it goes. How unfortunate. What I could do is have a second particle that appears. I might stick with that. I don't want to get too crazy on the particles. Yeah. I can just manually edit it at that point. Save time. Well, thanks, Opus Nix. Yeah. I'm very excited that it looks awesome. Yes, yes indeed. There's one thing I can do, it's work with graphics. So I really hate that it briefly shows, you know, underneath her like that. Like there needs to be like always a particle there. So I think the trick this all happens within a single frame. So why don't I set a weight in here, I guess? We're gonna make a thing called Ghost Trail because I really don't want to continuously do this. what it'll do is it'll just run Ghost Trail right there because it's using global variables, so I can get away with this. But I have this code in 3 different locations and potentially more. I'm getting really tired of putting it in all the locations. So we'll just do this and then boom. Boom shakalaka. Yeah. Yeah, so this right here. This right here. Should always try to make it so that you don't have to repeat code. Makes it a lot easier to find things later. Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't seem like it works at all. Like, it would need to have a switch to trip. I think this event needs a complete rework. I might actually be wrecking myself on a few things here. But technically I could just run this Ghost Trail event too. That's fine. Let's do this and then skip these. And then... Oh, no wonder it was doing that. Let's see that right there. No, that's fine. Interesting, interesting. Well, it also shows that there immediately too. Interesting, the thing is, well... Oh, hey, C Games, how's it going? Why in the world is this one up higher like this? I'm doing pretty good. Anytime I'm working on game dev and just, streaming life isn't so bad, yeah? I mean, there's definitely worse things to be doing. It was even a beautiful day today. I got to go out and walk through the park and everything. It's been a nice day. And I got a new microphone. I had to return the other one, so I got a HyperX, who knows what, ridiculous one. What was it called? A HyperX Quadcast S, yeah. So hopefully I sound better. Because it's technically a nicer microphone than I previously had. awesome. It's so nice and just more efficient than the other one. The other one had all these cords and everything like that, and a Go XR to you know, mess with things and stuff. And this just has all the controls on it, and even lights up all nice and neat. And you can just touch the top to mute it, as opposed to the other one where it didn't even have a mute. You had to just unplug it. I was like, who forgets to put a mute button on a microphone? I mean, really, doesn't it? It seems like a pretty important feature. I need an extra switch in here, I think. I need a better organizational method, and this is quickly turning into a mess. Idle Ghost Trail, I guess. I'll turn that on, and then I swear this this one track plays more than everything. Why does this track play so much? It should only be on here once, and I think I've heard it 3 times in the last 20 minutes. No, you stop playing that one. It's supposed to be just randoming through 150 tracks, so I shouldn't hear the same track very often with 150 of them, but that does not appear to be the case. Turn this off, and then we're going to do Ghost Trail if that switch is on. So I don't need to run this here, and I don't think I need that, but I'll leave the skip just in case for later. Right now I'm trying to fix a problem where, depending on which direction it is, she might get overlapped by the particle. Also, this appears too quickly. Unfortunately, on this one, it's still... She seems like she's at the wrong height. There's 5, and then the comet thingy should be at 8? I think I'm just going to do it this way for now. Forgot story's not on for this map, so we'll just comment this out for now. It goes over the top of her, but it's the wrong height. Also, it immediately shows it. Why does it immediately show it? Yeah, the little black smoke that appears behind her. Make it look like she's a ghost. And most of the maps have already got a system set up for it, but this map, because it's, well, the de facto first map, it sets up a lot of things. So the transfer system that sets up all the other maps can't be used here because it's, you're starting on this map, you're not transferring to another map. Yeah, it does it right here. I did change this from a burst to not a burst, so maybe that made a difference in the size. Let me make a quick change to this so that it's a little bigger. Actually, there's one I want to check too, thinking about it. That might have been the difference right there. There's a large version of the particle. I'm gonna have to switch something based on player size. Okay. Game variables at value 65. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, 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 no. Let's make a switch statement on this. Because there's 5 potential sizes. Case 2, break. I don't know if I even use case 1 or 3, but I guess I should probably put them all in, honestly. I'll put 1 in a second. In case 1. And then we'll have, let's see. Should have named particle name in this here, shouldn't I? I do want a particle, but I'm going to call the other one a particle because the other one's the name of a particle file, and this is the name that I want to give it, so I kind of use the stupid name. Particle will equal this, but there's a large version. And the only time the large version is used, I think, is this. So I might try that. I might change some things there. I'll rechange this one back to what it originally was because, yeah, I was doing dumb things there. All right. I don't know why that's appearing immediately, though. That one's awfully still misplaced by a bit. Now it doesn't go over the top of her, but there is that brief moment where it's gone for a second. And then when she goes down, it actually looks like she's going down without it in front of her. I almost want a particle that appears while it's waiting. Particle behind it. There's just that brief flicker where it takes a moment for the particle to come back. Yeah. Just trying to make the visual style fit all of it, so
Let's see. Player size is 5 on this one too, so in theory this should actually put it at exactly the right height. But for some reason it does not. Not only that, and I do need this. No, not on that map. I need it on this map. I need it somewhere. And the code is exactly the same, so the real question is, why would it using the same pictures have it lower on this page but not on the other, on this map but not the others? This game start variables and switches does something. Let me look on that. It could easily do that. Not. One of the worst things about this engine is just keeping things organized, because it's kind of hard to find stuff in it. I do what I can, but sometimes it's rough. Map setup is on. I suspect that does some things that I don't want it to do. Yeah, that moves the player to that location, though it's actually their starting location, right? Moves into 17-8. I want them at 19-11. Why do I need to locate the player to that? It's already right there. It's where I want him to be instead of there. Yeah, you know, I used to be that way, very chaotic with it, but the longer I do it and the more complicated the project, the more I go back and start organizing things, because you can't find anything. And all my variables started getting really descriptive, and I started making functions that had more comments in them, and in general just tried to make it more organized. Unfortunately, a lot of this code was from a couple years ago before I did that, so some of it's a mess. Some of this is just now, where I just haven't, I keep expanding the system and forget to comment it, and it just is not the best. It's not the best at all. Pass me this map. So, don't do this. Story might be briefly on or something, and that triggers it. I don't know. Yeah, it's story. That's a little closer, but again, it's still a little too low, isn't it? But it's on the left and right that it's a little low. But it's not too low on this map. This map looks... It could probably go up a little. Yes. That's weird. Why would I move it up by 30 going right but not left? That doesn't make any sense. Seven, 8, and 9 I wouldn't want to because oh, I'm moving it up on 9. I'm moving it up 30 as well. Why am I not doing that? Well, 8 I know why I wouldn't do it. Because 8 is just straight up, so it would be different. Just like 2. But why aren't 1 through 3 this? Actually, 1 and 3 the same? Because I imagine 2 and 8 are going to be weird. And 5 obviously is just not doing anything, but if the thing is mirrored, you would think it would need the same thing. Actually, no, you wouldn't think that. Let me undo all that. What I need to do is actually adjust the Y, not the Z. Let's do some quick undos. Don't undo that. Let's not replace. Let's redo that one. I want that, but I think I need to reset the Y here. My luck is currently minus 30 just across the board. So how about I do minus 50? Let's see if that puts it a little farther up so it's a little less weird. I wish I could just visually see these things and do it as opposed to having to just sit there and guess. Better for this map, but is it better for the other map? It's actually just a bit too high for this map. Yeah, it's sunk cost fallacy. That's why I use this engine. I gotta keep reminding myself this. Because it's so much easier to place particles in Unreal Engine. It really is. In fact, let me see if I've actually logged into this on there. I can find an image or two here. No, not that. Oh, that's right. This particular browser hates that. Where did I put this? I'm going to do a trick here so I can bring this thing up and show you it, but yeah, I can't really make it much bigger on this one here, but you can see how much easier it is to place the particles in Unreal Engine. I just had to, place them at our hands and feet, and it was easy. And they just follow around. It was just wonderful. And then this is not easy. This is not wonderful. This is rough. Anyway. It just follows and keeps track. You don't got to do anything. You just visually drop them. Also, look at how many things the engine can handle at once. Oh my god, it's wonderful. Huge models. But I gotta remind myself not to look at that, because I'll abandon this project and this engine ASAP if I, get too excited by that. Yeah, I imagine Unreal and Unity are real similar. It was so easy to do graphics in Unreal, oh my god. Yeah, the main reason for really this engine in the first place was mostly just it was the first engine I messed with. And I did think that I would gain some followers purely on the grounds of people who like to build in the engine would be curious to see things done with it that was, well, just much better than what they were doing with the engine. Because, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like I'm all too important or amazing or anything like that with it. But most people make a very generic JRPG with this engine and don't think it can do anything else. So I'm just doing something really weird with the engine. I thought they'd be curious, but largely they haven't been. It's just people who like what I'm doing. They just like the story or the visuals. I know what I was gonna do. So if this is if game map ID equal to 1. Hey J Marie, how's it going? Yeah, that's pretty much what how I view it. C games. It's just yeah, just more exciting. Never mind the fact that it's kind of a Diablo clone, so it's kind of technically something that people are doing. Or I guess maybe Diablo / Zelda. It's a little better. Definitely better than it was. He looks like a ghost now. Doing pretty good, J Marie. I've been having a good day. Got to go on a walk in the park, hang out with a friend who I hadn't seen in a while. Got myself a brand new microphone. Other than that, just doing game dev, and life can never be that bad when you're doing game dev. Oh, I'm just testing this out. Yeah, there's that brief moment where there's just nothing there. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna try to do a dirty trick here. Solve the visual bug. Well, it's not really a bug, it's just the nature of how things are, how particles work. It takes a certain amount of time for the particles to spawn. Emitter. Well, thanks, Shamery. It's been a good day. It was beautiful outside today. Relatively warm. I mean, not super warm. It was still long sleeve shirt weather, but you know, thumb was out. We haven't had sun for, I think, like a week. It's just been raining. It's been nice. Am I getting any errors on that? Sure am. Oh. That is correct. That is in fact not a function. It is game map, not game player. Oh, it's cold where you're at? That sucks. I want it to be warm all the time. I hate being cold. People always tell me, you can get warm. Sure, if you don't got to go out in the cold. That's a little better of effect. I mean, that's pretty much about what it was today when I considered it nice. It was like 65 or so with the sun out. But the previous days it's been like 50 something and it raining, so 65 with sun is a definite improvement. I think I'll do an extra 2 seconds or something. Actually, 2 frames. It's not even 2 seconds. That one will be there for 4 seconds. You're not used to those temps? Did you just move to the area or something? This is a little bit better. The timing is still a little weird. I think there just needs to be longer before it, probably like 10 frames or something. Let's see if it looks better. Yeah, silly Americans over here using our, Fahrenheit. I often have to look up how to convert it to the rest of the world stuff whenever I'm talking to people on the forums and stuff, or the game dev forums, because a lot of people are not in the US. It's still a little wonky here. Well, J. Marie, I wish it was 80F here regularly. That'd be great. Wherever you're at that it's normally 80F, I'm envious. That's a nice day. That's pretty much shorts weather. I might need considerably more time for this to look okay. I'm fine with it deleting it once that happens, but otherwise... Oh, you're in the Caribbean? Oh my gosh, now I'm really envious. If I was on some sort of a tropical island, I'd probably quit all game dev and just go outside all day. This is a little better. Now when she turns, it doesn't actually completely evaporate. It sort of does sometimes. But before it would just completely vanish, and now it's not as bad. I consider it a definite improvement. Yeah, I can get behind that. That seems like it's relatively better. Still not perfect, but at least it does fix the problem of her getting covered by the trail as she goes up and down. And the problem of it completely vanishing. Her opacity seems like way lower on the title screen though than it does here. Why is that? Should be 0.5. So I think I can just do this on this. And transparent is on there. Sure. Oh yeah, I definitely think that the texture for the painting was amazing. I like it so much better. The only thing I'm not too much of a fan of is I wanted her to actually have her text messages appear on the other side of the painting. And while I can do that with the text that appears above her head when she says the name of the picture like that, the actual message system built into this can't do that. It'll put it right in the front no matter what you do. So that kind of sucks. There might be some way I can rewrite the message system to do that. I have my own message system I can do, but it doesn't actually draw the, you know, text boxes like that. I would have to manually create all that or build a system that could do it just for her to have the pictures, the text boxes in the pictures. That's something that I would like to do at some point, but it is going to be so involved that it is not happening anytime soon. But it would be cool if every time I switched to her, the actual text was inside of the painting instead of appearing outside of it. That fixes that problem. Two problems, actually. Let's work on these quest characters here. We've got problems. Alright, so when the quest characters are placed, are we going to random them in, or are we going to just add them to the array later? If I random them in, oh yeah, J. Marie, it'd be awesome. I would super love the whole thing like that. I definitely want... I'm a big fan of visuals, so having all the text boxes appear in a living painting just sounds awesome. Good old RPGMaker provides a, you know, its own message system, but it's not very, very limited on what you can do with it. You have to recode a lot of things to do anything in this engine. And I'm actually using multiple plugins for the thing already as is. I'll have to recode their plugins. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm probably find some method of doing it that's built into my own plugins, so I don't have to use other people's code. Spend so much time figuring out how other people did stuff and how to, you know, blast your stuff into their code that it's often better to just write it yourself. Alright, so we're going to need to bring up the old random map creator here. I do have the mechanic built into this plugin here that allows me to disintegrate maps that was in the other game, because it's the same plugin handling both, and I could include that in here as some sort of weird other kind of level that isn't just a regular Diablo style level. I did consider having varied gameplay types. That's what I'm thinking, C games, you know, especially when you're trying to get people to look at it. Like, I mean, if I showed you a game that looked like generic RPG Maker, most people probably wouldn't even stop. They wouldn't even say hi. Like, I mean, just imagine if we'll go ahead and click new project on this one. I'll reopen the project in a second. But just imagine if you showed up here and the project looked like, you know, like this. Woohoo, what a cool engine. This game is so neat looking. Yeah. No. With its oh so cool tile map. Yeah, tile map. Make it all big, cool, yeah, what a great thing. This is what people actually expect out of this engine, so not a very good engine. Woohoo. Put a nice wall there. Look at how cool that looks. It looks terrible, by the way, you know. Some carpet. Maybe some water for no reason whatsoever, not under the player. Yeah, like, this engine's terrible. No, don't say that. I have no interest. Yeah, like, looks, especially when you're going on all the social medias, you have, what, 15 to 30 seconds to convince people to be interested in your game. If you show them that, people like, oh, the number of devs who talk to me on the forums trying to convince me that their incredibly convoluted plot and mechanics are what are going to pull people to their game on like social media, it's just adorable. Like, how long does it take for me to learn your mechanic? Probably longer than 15 to 30 seconds, which is how long I usually look at social media pictures. Like, you know, I'm looking for my dank memes, yo. I'm rolling on by. You have very little time to convince me that your project is cool. I'm not going to read your story. Not in that time. Like, if I'm already interested, I'm coming in to, you know, coming to your, you know, Steam page or wherever to read about it. But otherwise, no. Pretty much, Jamery. It's like, you know, you could have the most delicious food ever, but if it looked like it was some sort of moldy pile of dung or something like that, people would be unlikely to eat it. Might be tasty, who knows, but whereas, you know, you put something that looks really tasty in front of you, like, you know, like a pizza or something like that, even if it's a terrible tasting pizza, people will eat it. I mean, we have Little Caesars around here, and Little Caesars often comes with hair included, but the pizza looks like, you know, a real pizza, so you're more likely to enjoy it over, you know, like someone's 5-star fish head soup or whatever. I don't know, they eat a lot of weird things in France, so I assume fish head soup is on the menu. Yeah, presentation matters. It matters with how people view you too, you know? If you show up, like, you know, with all torn clothes and everything like that, looking like you haven't bathed, people are gonna probably give you a wide berth because they're gonna assume you're homeless. That's not gonna be good. You wear up, you know, show up wearing dress clothes and, yeah. See, exactly. Maybe your sheep's tongue thing is delicious. Possibly. But that crappy cheap pizza is gonna look tastier to me than some random sheep's tongue, so presentation matters. Where was that? I think it's easier to actually random them into a location and then have them just teleport until they find a safe place and add themselves to the array, I think. But I want a restrictor on how they teleport them, right? How did I code the NPCs? Well, it's under quest NPC. Well, that definitely helps. If I can't tell what it is, it makes it a lot easier to eat. Of course, I usually ask what I'm eating because I don't typically just eat random things. I forgot who it was around here, but there's actually a dish called mountain oysters. And, you know, it might sound like it's somewhat normal, but then you think about it. Wait, there are no oysters in the mountains. Yeah, you know, it's actually goat balls. That's what mountain oysters are. I'm just saying. So, you know, knowing what you're eating, it's important. I don't think I'd eat sushi in an alleyway. I don't think I'd eat anything in an alleyway. Who are you kidding? Why, your dad told you when you were 4 he didn't just, you know, keep it hidden for a while? I wouldn't have said anything. Oh, it gets randomed in by that, doesn't it? Oh, this might require a massive change in how these are handled if I'm going to do that. I might just say no thanks and leave it as it is. Ah. It's better if I write it so that this thing can place it more specifically. They are marked as important. Could I code in a restrictor for where they ended up? So let's see. The important randomizer checks the forbidden locations and then the map border. I think I need to create a thing that actually just spawns it at a specific location outright. Or did I make one? What's target? Target spawns. Uh-huh. A little hard to hide it if that's the name of the food. That seems a little awkward. I don't think I've actually used target even once. Did I? Not that target, but... yeah, I haven't ever used this command. Does this even work? Or did I start making it and never get around to finishing it. Because grid and border I made actually I updated grid recently and made border very recently. What about target? It's asking for whatever the spawn array is and then a temp, and then inside the spawn array it wants the ID, the width, the height, and then the spawn size. And then over here it pushes all this to there. So those things there. What if it fails? Does it try again? This bubble test will come along, and if it fails, it'll kick it back and be like, nope. Actually, it does the creation itself, so... Oh. I'm going to try this target command and see if it does what I want it to do. It might. Alright, so target... I may have already written my solution. Sure. Guess she'll be near the clown head, so we'll make this target. And target doesn't ask for a size, does it? I guess it wouldn't, would it? No, actually it's not this plugin that does it. Yeah, it's just pushing the spawn array there. It's just an array within an array. There's no way that code works. Oh, catch you later, C-Games. It seems like a mystery that I might not want to try to solve immediately. I think instead I'm going to write something in here that forces it to teleport if it gets too if it's too close to a certain location. Just move it away. We'll compare it looks for an event. Not a location. But every one of these maps has an event in the corner that's the starting event. I can just compare it against event 1, I guess, for now. And that would prevent them from ever being too close. Alright. Trying to find the easiest way to get away with not having to actually code this. Into my randomizer, because that'll just take a lot of work. Oh. Oh. I guess I missed that. Oh, yep. I did. I got all caught up coding. Well, trying to find a way to get away from not having to actually code. I usually don't want to do anything involved with that randomizer unless I'm really, really into it for that day. PH2 will have it. So I think it'll still treat itself like it's part of the event, so it should work. The target is amap.event 1. I don't need all those things. This command has gotten so ridiculously complicated that it can do so many things, but it's hard to remember all the stuff it can even do. We'll do distance of... No, we're not doing pixel on this. We're going to do distance of actual grid spaces on this one. We'll say if it's within 30, nah, 40 of it. We'll need an else on this one. Okay, let's see here. I guess I could make a point of spawning at the first event on any map in any corner I want, and then it would prevent the quest NPC from spawning near there. It's me, I wanted to move the painting to a different location. Right now the painting defaults into the upper left corner every time. But later on I can change that up. I could technically change it now, but I wasn't going to do that yet. I suspect this is a test I'll have to do over time because it's randomly placing the quest person, so they could potentially end up near him anytime, but you never know. Wait, what's this saying here? Okay, well, it doesn't like what I did there. Fair enough. I don't like what I did there either. Just go ahead and drop this right on in here, and well, not that one. That one's a pain to figure things out. That's what I forgot. Okay, well now I know that. Oh, do I make the music myself? No. No, I'm the artist and I'm the coder, but when it comes, and I do all the gameplay and everything like that, but I just pay other people for the music. That is not a skill I have. I've tried it before. I've tried doing like, you know, mixing with DJ equipment and everything, but well, listen. Maybe someday I could develop such a skill like that, but that day is not today. No. I may resort to making my own sound effects though, now that I have a better microphone. It's finding the right sound effects for things is so hard. Oh my gosh, I know having to search through all these packs to get things that sound kind of like what I want. No, right there, that one was too close. That did not seem like it worked. Yeah, my theory with the music is by the time I actually became skilled enough to do it, the amount of hours and effort it would take is so high that I should just pay someone else to do it. There's so many packs that you could... What's this song again? Why is this song? I hate this one now. Like there's all these packs out there where you pay, I don't know, like 20 bucks for a Humble Bundle pack, and they'll have like 200 tracks in it for you to listen to. Like, music is so cheap that it just seems like the worst skill to focus on learning in the world of game dev. Obviously, I'd love to have my own custom music. Oh, hey, Mathis, how's it going? Yeah, I like that thumbnail. I realized that Papa didn't have to be standing. She could be doing something else. Sitting there looking maybe a little sinister. Who knows? Oh, I know why this didn't work. Because I compared it, I said to have it teleport to there so that it would be within range. Now I wouldn't even mind having, you know, asset creation streams where I do like art or something like that, or some other, you know, I could learn how to do music on it. That would probably be painful to people's ears. Yeah, instead of just doing game dev all the time. Problem is I can't use Daz 3D on stream, so a lot of the assets for this game are made with Daz 3D, and it's the render for it pretty much crashes the stream, so I have to find a different solution. Whereas the other game, like, I was making was using Incarnate for a lot of its stuff, so I could be hand making maps on the stream and people could watch that. But not so much for this. Actually, I'm just checking to see if the code works right, because I'm gonna have to do a perpetual test on this one to see if it works. Also, I fixed the enemy bug, so... Well, he's far enough away, he's not within 40 of it, so that's a good sign. But their messages aren't working yet. At least we know the clown hits can kill you. There was an error earlier where they weren't able to kill the player. I don't even know what was causing it, but I didn't actually get around to fixing it, but... They managed to kill the player there, no problem. Where did I leave that? The encounter system still has a console log in it that doesn't need to be there anymore. I think that works for the quest NPCs. I do want them to say what they're going to say first, though. So that's actually... The quest NPCs aren't even standardized yet, so that's kind of a problem with them. They're sort of standardized. Their first page is standardized. But then their other pages are kind of a nightmare. Um, I think I might quickly standardize these a bit, because I could just have a thing where inside of each of those it just has a specific section for when they have their own thing. Like, depending upon how complicated their quests get later, it might be really difficult to standardize a lot of it. That one's not even in the game at the moment. Yeah, I want to standardize this. This is a mess. So many of them are recycling exactly the same code. I guess the quest NPCs don't have to be, they could never leave the map. I might do that. I think they should be removed from the map array. Or maybe they already are. I'm going to check that. I don't know if they are, because if they're not removed from the map array, or if they're not actually kept in check by the memory manager, then that means they can have their own self variables and it won't delete them. But if they're being used in the memory manager, then they can't use their own self variables because it'll spawn in a new copy of that event, and that event will have fresh self variables. So let's see, where are you at? Just running past him is kind of hard without the heal spell. Which is good, because I mean, if it's annoying to run past them, it means the players will stop and fight them. Why did I look Final Boss out? I'm stupid. Okay, there he is. Now I just gotta get far enough away from him that it would remove him from the map. And if he's still there, perfect. That's all I need to know. Oh yeah, he doesn't go away. Perfect. Okay. So knowing that, it's time to make Quest NPC 2 standard. Or see if I can, because having to update this collection of code for 4 different enemies and be... Actually, for every single quest NPC, it would just be dumb. And I'll just rely upon the self-variable name that I gave each one so it knows which thing to talk about. I'll have to change what each one says, but that's okay. Plus, I also found out that I could actually just put the name of the character in there, which I didn't know was possible. Not that I'm sure if I'm going to have this character in there. She's probably not going to be, but she can be a placeholder for a character. We may make the cut purely out of having no one else to put in her place. Maybe. Okay, so then that'll do that, and then I'm gonna have to redo the quest requirement thing though. This is the only one I don't like, but there aren't enough quest thingies going on right now for it to even matter. So let's see, this person here will be this is the quest completed. I don't even know why I put lines in front of it like that. It's a comment command. You don't have to put the comment in there because it's designed to be very different and not require that. Pretty soon it just reads it as a string anyway. Almost certainly. That's request is completed. This is quest given. Quest giver saved. Quest still active. Basically, for each point where there would be text, I just simply have one for each of the characters, and then I can put whatever individual text they say. I can put whatever individual bonds they have to do, or anything, just right there, and just, you know. Then I can just call this comment event for each one and only ever have to update the code once. It'll be grand. I'll catch you later, C-Games. Thanks for swinging by the stream and keeping me company. Because, you know, game dev by yourself, not always the most exciting. Need people to chat with. Also helps keep me awake. That and caffeine. Lots of caffeine. Put this here. And then we'll do this right here. We'll just put this default thing in here until I come up with other quests or what I need you to do with them. Yeah, okay, that should get rid of everything there. Run the common event for quest NPC 2. I think I already have the wait 1 frame on there, just in case I don't. Let's double check. I do not. Alright, and then for quest NPC 3, what's page 3 even do? Sure. Quest NPC 3. I'm going to take all these and copy them over here. One thing we're going to check on that self variable for their name. I gotta change Blue Teddy to Boozeberry because that's the new name for him, but I haven't done that, so there you go. That's my explanation for what happened. Well, I just found out the Annie's on was broken. He unlocks Boozeberry. That's not good. This is why we standardize our code. You don't got to try to figure it out later the hard way. This is 187. And now I don't have to rewrite Fortuna's code to be, you know, better because she had code from before I made the others, and the others are all copied off of the other code. So it's gonna be a lot easier if I don't gotta do that. Just saying. Might need to restructure hers a little differently. Right, so looks like the people have left for the day. This needed to be done a while ago. I should have standardized this. Should have standardized this immediately. Listen, sometimes talking is for other people. Or I can just write code in for whatever I want her thing to be. She doesn't even have it. Not copying messages. She doesn't have anything in there. We already put Boozeberry's code in there. Does she have any specific code? I think it's already there. No. I haven't written any real dialogue, so it's just literally dump them in there and they're good. Good, now I only have to set the actual collider size for the image, for the character, and set a variable name, and it'll cover everything, so I don't have to do anything special. Let's save after making all that. Alright, so let's see. Well, the quest's still active. I don't think it'll matter. Let's see how one of them behaved. I don't even know. I think after this, if no one's around, I'll likely bounce. I did not get a lot of sleep last night, and staying up super late today just so I can not sleep and have to go to work seems horrible. Sure. Really? Well, that didn't work. Oh, wait. What does Tools Teleport actually read? 3 to teleport near the player. I don't want you to teleport near the player, so all the time here. So look at that. I want to see how this new microphone sounds after I'll check back through the stream later and see how it goes. You know, just why not? Why did I unlock the boss? I don't want the boss out here. Dumb. Hunting for the quest NPC. Heck, you know what I didn't check? Code broke. It's not currently broke. He didn't break. Where's he at? Come on, buddy, you got this. Get to the chopper. Get to the toy chopper. Alright. Perfect. Oh, let's see here. There he is. I think that should fix all those problems. Now I've kind of done that. It's a little better. I still gotta solve these issues. Still gotta add dialogue and sound effects. Yeah. Put the credits in because, you know, legal reasons. I need a falling animation to make, and that kind of be about it. I also need just more dialogue, really. I haven't added anything in. I'm not going to do too many cutscenes, though, so it's just going to... Not for the prototype. No. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'll call it for the night. I will maybe be back tomorrow night. I got some place I got to be really early in the morning, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not. Anyway, have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you. Imaginary Villain signing out. Catch you later.